Good morning. Just fully sounded like I was saying good morning to a school or group of students, but good morning anyway to this beautiful rainy Sunday morning. It's just magic. Just finished my own practice and teaching here at Bodyworks, and as always, I always feel just so in flow and grateful when I finish teaching and also practicing my own, that I want to share some words here from a book that I'm spending a lot of time in at the moment. It's by Frank Frenich, and he also writes the book Exuberant Animal, and this is called Beautiful Practice. So I personally have been exploring my own practice a lot lately. And this isn't the yoga practice, this isn't the movement practice, this isn't the practice of work or skill set. This is the practice that we do day in and day out, like the full 24-hour practice. You know, when I was recently at a school last week, I was sharing a yoga practice to some kids and teenagers, and everything's all fine when we're in it and when we're being guided through a practice, right? We're present enough to be told to draw our shoulders back or to breathe. But it's when we come back to the practice of being, as in no thing, that it's up. That's where the practice really is shaping our bodies into whatever they are today. So when we finish the yoga practice with the teens, we did, our thank yous and namastes, and when I looked up, nearly everyone in the room was like this. And that's the practice of mobile phone devices. That's the practice of watches pulling us forward. You just have to go in a shopping center and you'll see people do it today when you're walking around. You'll see people sitting on chairs in a shopping center, I'm actually really struggling to do this, but super hunched over. So all of this is up. This is all linked into our brainstem, which also communicates to our nervous system. So all of this area here is communicating to our nervous system whether we are safe or unsafe. And I said to these kids when I finished, before I did anything, I'm like, just take a look around you. Like, we sitting here finishing the yoga practice, and quite literally, like, the body was like this on most, like 90% of the kids or teens. And I said, just take a look at the person next to you and see where their shoulders are. And I'm like, that's pretty much where you are too. And you could see nearly everyone in the room, hang on, come back here. Because why do we want to do that? Because this actually feels better in our bodies. This feels so much better than this. This communicates with our nervous system that we're not safe. We've got 12 cranial nerves. We've got 5 in particular that communicate with our autonomic nervous system. That's 5, 7, 9, 10, and 11. Cranial nerve 10 is our vagus nerve, which connects our gut and our brain. Hence why our breath should be low and slow into the diaphragm, not through the chest. Hey, Hol, I was just thinking of you, my friend. I hope you're well. When we breathe here like this, you can see that I am hyperventilating and I'm activating my cranial nerve 11, which is my upper trapezius, and my SCM muscle, the sternocleidomastoid. That is a very somatic response that communicates to the nervous system, hey, there's a threat. We need to fight or flee because you're trying to survive. So when we talk on the word practice, if we are like consistently living up here and breathing in our chest, you are actually practicing the art of keeping yourself in fight, flight. So for myself, I had to unlearn, because I lived there for 30 years, I had to unlearn that particular practice of keeping my body in fight, flight, or freeze. And I had to come back to this vehicle and learn how to breathe again, which I've actually been spending probably the last 3 to 5 months, really now diving into breath work a lot more through the practices of Patrick McEwen and carbon dioxide tolerance training, so that I'm consistently being present with my breathing to keep my nervous system in a regulated state more often than not. So when I am triggered in my environment or things happen, I know that I don't have to hyperventilate just because I've lost my keys or I'm running late or I've just got an email that I don't like or there's a specific comment on it, whatever. I actually can just breathe in and breathe out and soften into the moment rather than sending my nervous system from safety to unsafe in fight flight. Now, I've titled this video, Each Patient Carries His Own Doctor Inside of Him by Norman Cousins. So I wanted to share this across because I see it everywhere. In my research for my second book, The Perfection Pandemic, all we are seeing is people, kids from the age of 5 and up, and teenagers and adults literally sending their bodies into stress, overwhelm, and then of course down into dorsal, into shutdown because of the overstimulation of our watches, our phones, and our devices. It is training our body. We are practicing putting our bodies in tension, and tension only creates more tension. Therefore, our nervous systems are consistently, for many of us, living in a chronic state of spinal sympathetic or fight flight. I call this the orange zone. It's like the middle of the ladder of the hierarchy of our autonomic nervous system. And if we live there for too long, like I did for 30 years, what happens is the body just burns out and we fall down further the rungs and we start to live here in our dorsal state. Now, when I looked at these kids, and if you're in a shopping center or anywhere where anyone's on their phone, all you need to do is actually look at the body, and this is the state of a dorsal vagal nervous system. The body is closed, the shoulders are rounded, they're closing off the heart and the oh my god, I've just lost for words, the genitals, so that we don't get injured, but we're not. We don't need to do that, so we don't need to practice this. But look what our phones are doing, and this is what big tech wanted. If you read the book Stolen Focus by Johann Hari, you will become exceptionally aware that big tech is designed to fuck us up. They want us sick, they want us unwell, they want us with inflammation, stress, sickness, and dis-ease, so that they can control us by literally keeping us on our devices, because when we're on our devices, we don't want to communicate, we don't want to talk to another person. They're like a safety device. They're a mechanism that we turn to numb and run from what the feelings that we don't want to feel. And of course, we then practice that. So your practice is not just this mat practice or your gym practice or whatever you want to call it. It's the stuff that you're doing 23 hours a day outside of that that you come back to. This vehicle that we have, this here, is a result of the practice that we do day in, day out, year upon year. And if we want to do something about that, then we need to change our practice. So I wanted to share this incredible paragraph, a few paragraphs from this chapter on the modern world. They're in this book. Mind you, was written in 2016. It's pretty bang on. In conventional conversations about our bodies, many of us describe health as a state of being. It's something that can be measured, tracked, and tweaked. It's something we can achieve, something we can lose. But when we take a deeper look, we're likely to discover that health really isn't a thing at all. More to the point, health is a kind of relationship. It's a relationship we create, not just with our bodies, but with the totality of our life experience. It's a relationship that we create in every moment of our lives. Sadly, this relationship has become radically distorted in recent years. Our primal alliance with the body has become stretched almost to breaking point. Today, many of us experience a profound sense of duality. The body is a vast, dark, and mysterious unknown. It's not to be trusted. It's treacherous, traitorous, and unpredictable. A renegade organ. Anything could bring us down. Genetic wildcard, an environmental toxin, a renegade organ, hormone, or neurotransmitter. And according to this view, we are mere victims of our physiology. Things can go wrong without warning, and we have no control. For others, the relationship with the body is adverse. The body must be beaten into shape, tamed and brought to heel. We must punish it for what we ate the night before. We exercise like demons, living the belief that the body must be pounded into condition with endless sweating, suffering, and pain. If we let up, our efforts for a day or a week will degenerate into obesity, sloth, and disease. Alternately, we abuse our bodies with all manner of substances and behaviors, trying to punish it for sensations, emotions, and motives that we don't understand or know what to do with. And for others, again, the primal relationship is marked by apathy and ignorance. The body is something so far away and it's a foreign land. We don't even want to know what it's capable of, and we much don't care. As long as it gets us to work and back home at the end of the day, we're content to leave it to its own devices. If something goes wrong, we just take it to the shop and we'll be well. We're not even curious about what it is or what it might become. Just going to pause here for a moment. I've got one more little paragraph to read, but this Western way of thinking of taking a pill, I'm not even going to say a name of one that's in the media at the moment, to slim us down or to lose body fat, to try to fix something that is an internal job, is never, ever going to work. The shop that we continually take our bodies to in the external world does not exist. You are always going to be searching for something more. You are always going to be looking. There's always going to be another diet, another thing. The practice has gone so far that we look out there to try and fix something that is an internal job. The shop is within you. The shop lies within your breathing and your ability to practice presence, to observe when things show up in your body, to actually go, you know what? This is showing up so that I can listen to it and go, hang on a second, maybe my physical vehicle is needing to go into the mechanics myself to actually, get some new oil, to actually get high quality fuel, which is sleep, rest, good quality fuel, good quality food, movement, sex, digestive, get the digestion system, breathing, pausing, playing. That's your shop. Not these external tablets or an injection that you can do to try to lose weight and slim down if you're not coming back to all the basics. If you are not sleeping, if you are consistently scrolling on your phone, if you are not moving your bodies for that extra 23 hours of the day, right? That is the practice. Then anything external that you might be taking or trying to do is never, ever going to work. Trust me, I have tried. Lastly, he says, these relationships just mentioned are exceedingly common, but none are sustainable, pleasing, or beautiful. In short, they're not healthy. Even when we follow all the recommended health and lifestyle practices prescribed by today's experts, we still won't be in the sweet spot of life experience. Your body might even pass a routine health screening with good biomedical results, but if your primary relationship with your body is out of harmony and you don't know how to listen, you're going to feel it somewhere in your life. Even worse, you'll miss out on all the pleasure and exuberance that comes with an integrated physical alliance and intuition. That means coming back home to this. Your practice is not just on the yoga mat or in the gym. We are in a world, the Western world, that has come so far from practice, presence of being. Moving when we have an opportunity to move, play, move fast, breathe, rest, allow yourself to connect with others, right? Take opportunities often to push and challenge your body, but also have the times to pause. The practice stems so much further than what you do for 1 hour a day. So as you move through your day today, I really invite you to tune in to what you're practicing. How do you hold your phone? I was with a client the other day, a 13-year-old male, and his response to being on a phone was 8 hours a day. This is not uncommon. How do you think his body looks? Right here. How do you think that communicates to his nervous system? It says, you know what, I'm not safe. So when your nervous system doesn't feel safe, you cannot be kind. You can't change your dialogue when you're here. Hence why I'm so big on the nervous system, because if we want to shift our self-talk, and if we want to start to make a difference, and if we want to feel better in our bodies and start to appreciate the skin we're in, then we need to look into our practice, what we're doing day in, day out. Myself is included here. I'm not exempt from this. I have a phone. I'm a writer. I create content. But be mindful of how you do it and what you are creating in this physical vehicle, because no one is doing it but you, right? No one is doing it but me. So the practice is a constant practice of present. Oh, my shoulders are back. Oh, I'm breathing into my chest. I'm keeping myself in anxiety if I'm breathing here. Oh, I haven't even thought about my breathing today. Maybe it's time to start. I really invite you to dive into your own practice today and let me know, what is it that you're going to practice today to help yourself and your vehicle feel better from the inside out. If you want to have a conversation about this further and really dive into how big tech and social media is really affecting our nervous systems on a huge worldwide scale, on your families, your kids, yourself, your teenagers, well, I'm going to be hosting my social media and the nervous system workshop, 25th of November at Infuse Health. I've been running nervous system workshops for over 2.5 years now, and I've been asked to do one for teenagers and parents. So here we are. We're going to really dive into what the practice of social media and big tech is doing to us, and what's actually happening from the inside out in our nervous systems, our digestion, our mental health, and of course our dialogue. I'd love you to join me. Feel free to tag anyone that may benefit from this workshop. It's just 2.5 hours, a really beautiful way, a practical workshop as well, to learn tools that you can then apply to help regulate and reset your own autonomic nervous system, so that you know that you have a choice to choose to be kind to you today. Big love, everyone. Again, that book is called Beautiful Practice by Frank Frenich. It's actually Josh Poll's book from Infuse Health, so very, very grateful. I hope you all have a wonderful day and enjoy this incredible rain, guys. Take care.